coming up on today's show.
But we can't create more time in the day. We can't create more than 24 hours.
A lot of times when we hear about increased productivity, we're saying, schedule this and organize this, but we're going to talk from maybe a little bit different angle today.
Just that idea of we can't really manage time, but we can manage our own energy to maximize our results.
Optimize your energy to increase productivity. Today on Keeping You Organized. Well, hello, welcome to Keeping You Organized, and today we are going to help you increase your productivity by learning how to talk first, and then by increasing your, optimizing your energy. So when I think about energy, and when I think about energetic people, I think about Debbie Rosemont from Simply Placed. Debbie, welcome to Keeping You Organized.
Thanks, John. It's so good to be back.
Now, why do you have that reputation of this super energetic?
Well, I didn't know I had that reputation, so that's good to know. But, there are things to talk about today that I certainly put into practice in my life a couple of years ago in particular that helped me feel better and kind of like the idea of living your best life and being grounded and maximizing energy, taking care of yourself so that you can be of service to others and so that you can be productive. I do practice what I preach in this area.
Awesome. Well, when a lot of times when we hear about increased productivity, we're saying, schedule this and organize this, but we're going to talk from maybe a little bit different angle today. So Where do you want to start? How do you do it, Debbie? How do you do it?
Let's just talk about the concept of time management. It's something that I teach. I go into companies and I help employees use their time more effectively, and we work with individuals. And I don't mean to sound or contradict myself to say you can't manage time, but we can't create more time in the day. We can't create more than 24 hours. We can be thoughtful about how we use our time. And if we can't manage the hours of the day, meaning we can't create more, we can manage our energy. So that's kind of the topic for today is what can we do to optimize our energy so that we can get the most out of our day, so that we can have this, I like to call it, instead of work-life balance, is work-life harmony, so that we're taking good care of ourselves and we're being productive in the work and the results we're trying to achieve. So just that idea of we can't really manage time, but we can manage our own energy to maximize our results.
Okay, does this mean we're going to be drinking kale smoothies and doing high protein, low fat, no carbs, or is it more than that?
I don't think there's any one particular way of eating or any one particular prescription, so to speak, on how to maximize energy. I think a lot of this is about self-awareness. It's about doing things, and I'm going to suggest just a few categories of areas to be more aware or to take a look at, doing things that make you feel your best. So let's start by, just the general idea of self-care. We hear often if we fly, in fact, every time we fly, the idea that if the oxygen masks drop, put your own on before helping somebody else that you're with. So we need to take care of ourselves first by putting our own oxygen mask on, or in the case of the topic for today, we're going to talk about taking care of your physical well-being, taking care of your mental well-being, and considering implementing a morning routine to help you be in a better position to help others and to get the most out of your day. So
now this is very intriguing, this idea of a morning routine. So we're not just talking necessarily, when you're talking self-care, just eating right. There's a lot more to it, I guess, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. So, I mean, the morning smoothie, and whether you put kale in it or you don't, that's totally up to you. But the idea of taking care of your physical well-being through good nutrition is one of the ways that we can take care of ourselves. So thinking about how you eat and hydrate and move your body, what you're putting in your mouth, what you're, getting out of your system for movement and physical activity, that all impacts our energy, and that includes getting a good night's sleep. So I know we're going to talk about a morning routine, and one of the suggestions is to get up a bit earlier than you have been to have time to put this in, but you still need to make sure you're getting good sleep. And I'd say the average person, and it's different for everybody, I think optimally needs between 7 and 9 hours. That's what I've heard the most. So, getting good sleep, making sure you're putting healthy, nutrient-dense foods in your body, hydrating, getting good hydration throughout the day, and then taking breaks. Those are all part of taking care of your physical body, that coupled with some exercise. So that's one thing you can do for self-care.
Awesome. That sounds great. What else?
So besides your physical well-being, then there's the mental well-being. So this is about considering your mindset, and whether this is something that you do by meditating or by just having positive affirmations, whether you fulfill a spiritual need, in some form or fashion. This is all about taking care of your mental well-being. So just emotional good care, making sure that you are processing and feeling your feelings. They say feel your feels, because when you do that, sometimes externalizing either by talking to somebody else or by journaling, getting the stuff out of your head and taking care of your mental well-being, your emotional well-being as well, you're in a better position to be productive. This also stems from understanding your values. So knowing what's fundamentally important to you, and you're going to be more productive when your activity, the things that show up on your to-do list and on your calendar, are in line with your values. It's going to feel better to work that way. So that's something else to, when you're considering taking care of your mental well-being, knowing your values and making sure your activity is in line with your values. So
yeah, I think I heard in a book somewhere, or someone said this, if you get up the first thing and just, say, here's 3 things I'm thankful for, and say them out loud. And it's amazing how that, mentally can, get you started on the right foot.
Yeah.
It's like someone saying, well, how are you this morning? Oh, I'm tired. But if you get up, say, hey, I'm just thankful for this or that, and it will psychologically just really get you on the right track.
Yeah, it's hard to be, and I've read this someplace too. Again, we want to feel our feels. So if you're feeling angry or sad or down, it's okay to feel that and process through it. But it is hard to be grumpy or feel negative when we're in a place of gratitude. So that practice that you mentioned, the beginning of the day or end of the day or multiple times throughout the day, just taking a moment to think about what's good in our life and what we're grateful for has tremendous value.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, I want to try to bridge more into how this optimizes our energy and increases our productivity. So we are with Debbie Rosemont, Simply Placed, and we'll be right back. Stock up on your favorite organizing products now at myorganized.life. This is the perfect time of year to equip your office with file folders, expanding files, project organizers, and more. And introducing our new bright white folder line that coordinates with any office decor. It's easy, shop online, and it's delivered right to your office. Stock up now on your favorites with everything you need at myorganized.life. That's myorganized.life. myorganized.life. We're back now on Keeping You Organized, talking about optimizing your energy to increase your productivity. And we got a lot of energy going on right now because we have Debbie Rosemont from It's Simply Placed. And Debbie, okay, so before the break, we were talking, we've kind of gone through some of the physical things, and we've heard all kinds of stuff like that, get good sleep, get good nutrition, hydrate. Those are all excellent things because we know it sets the foundation for the day. And then the mental preparation also, whatever, everyone's routine is a little different, right? So what is the goal of that? Is there some kind of goal of that mental piece to kind of step us into the productivity, increasing our productivity?
Yeah, I think getting your mindset right, having a positive attitude, believing that you can, being clear on what you want, that's all part of that mindset and taking care of your mental well-being. And I I really started a couple of years ago into a morning practice or a morning routine that I have found to be tremendously helpful in grounding myself and preparing myself to have a productive day. So it's part of getting my mind right, but you also hear in the morning routine, there's a little bit about the body as well. It touches on just a solid way to start the day on the right foot that can lead to a more productive day than when I don't do this. And so I started to talk about this with clients, and in the It's About Time virtual productivity program, we just did a whole month on this idea of morning routine. So I'd love to share that with your viewers as well.
Absolutely. Let's talk about that. But are you willing to share what your morning routine is, or is that too private? Okay.
No, I'm happy to share. So
all right, let's hear what Debbie Rosemont does in the morning to get going, to help her increase her productivity.
So I want to give credit where credit's due first. This is largely based on a book, and I'll show it here. It's called The Morning Miracle, or The Miracle Morning rather, and the author is Hal Elrod.
Okay.
And so in this book, he had an acronym that's SAVERS, SAVERS, and that's kind of how I shaped my morning routine. So let me run through really quickly what those stand for.
Awesome.
So his idea is to spend time, whether it's a minute per letter or 10 minutes per letter, whatever time you have for your morning routine. And I'll tell you, mine's about an hour in total. Okay. But it's get up, and by the way, this starts the night before. We're talking about a morning routine, but this starts the night before. It's deciding when you go to sleep that you're going to commit to doing this. You're committing to getting up at the time that you've decided to get up so that you have time for this. It's possibly putting some things out. I try and put out my workout clothes and a glass of water at the sink so that when I brush my teeth, I've already, get one glass of water in. It's some things you can do the night before, but a lot of it's just mindset. And deciding also that you're going to have just the right amount of sleep that you're going to need for the day, and getting to bed at a decent time. So I get up pretty early. I get up usually between 5 and 5:30 a.m. To start my day and get into this. And then the SAVERS, S stands for silence. And this is taking some moments of just quiet meditation. And you can do that on your own, or you could use an app or a tool for guided meditation. I use Headspace, but there's Calm, Headspace. There's a variety of different tools out there. But spending a few minutes just in quiet meditation helps begin that kind of grounding process for me. Right. The A in the acronym SAVERS stands for affirmations. So this is affirming something positive. So it's usually an I am statement, like I am easily and effortlessly today getting through my to-do list and adding value to my client appointments. That's an example. So that I am, and it's a positive statement. It's anything that you can say to yourself quietly or out loud that sets you up for success as well.
Okay. And don't you think that also, that kind of talks to the subconscious, and you've got to convince your subconscious that you also need to do this as well, right?
For sure. I think our thoughts and our beliefs completely impact our actions and our results. So starting with your mindset, again, this is so positive, right? To start the day. And I've seen some fantastic things. You can find YouTube videos out there about, little girls standing in front of a mirror with hands on hips saying, I am amazing. I am beautiful. I am making a difference in someone's day to day. I am love. All these things are great positive affirmations. And, how can you not feel good when you're saying those things and planting those as seeds in your subconscious to be able to conjure up later in the day as well.
Right. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So that's affirmations, the A, yes. All right?
Yep. So the S is silence, the A is affirmations, the V is visualization. So this is creating, and maybe you've heard this before, a vision board, or writing out a goal on a 3x5 card, having a goal card and reading that aloud to yourself, visualizing the results. So this is a technique used by professional athletes, by, professional speakers who get on stage, by leaders in companies. They visualize success. And when you can create that picture in your mind, this is again about planting something in the subconscious that our mind's going to think about, process, and be working on and working towards. So
yeah, I remember hearing an interview with Michael Phelps one time about swimming, and he always visualized the entire race and winning, and standing up there with the medal, and that was went through his mind over and over and over.
Right.
Stuff works.
So, super powerful. The E stands for exercise. So this is getting some movement in your day. So you asked about my morning routine. I start out with the meditation and the affirmations and the visualization. I do that for a little bit, and then I do get some sort of exercise in my morning. If I don't do it in the morning, I'm not likely going to do it. So this could be as short as 10 push-ups, 10 tricep dips off my fireplace, 25 squats, and maybe one or two other things, a plank, maybe some crunches, and I might call it good. On many days, I will get outside and go for a walk because that fresh air and getting some cardio is helpful too. So getting some form of exercise, and if you're limited on time, it does not have to be, an hour of cardio. It can be a short session just right there on the bedroom floor or a family room floor, wherever you are. So some sort of exercise, getting your body in motion.
Awesome. Great. So that brings us up to R then, right?
R, yep. So the R is read. And if this is also part of a book called The Slight Edge, where we can be constantly doing small things to improve ourselves. So if you can read something daily that's positive or has to do with self-improvement or business improvement, this is typically not a novel for fun. I may say that for the evening reading, but reading something that's going to benefit you. And The Slight Edge, which is a book by Jeff Olson, suggests 10 pages a day. Like if you were just to commit to 10 pages a day of something that would make a positive impact on your day, your week, your life, imagine what day after day you could consume. And again, making it positive helps get some good information in. Some people will do like daily readings, for somebody who's religious, maybe that's a Bible reading. There are great books that have a inspirational quote of the day and a little bit about that quote, just something that's inspiring that can help you get your day off on the right foot as well. And then maybe having some sort of a business book or self-development book that you're getting a chapter into, or getting some of that reading done in the morning, even if it's just 10 pages or 10 minutes.
Yes. And, I think it's almost like the physical exercise. That's the mental exercise.
Yes.
It gets your mind thinking, and it also helps you ground back to those values that you talked about before. So, it's really, I can really see how that would be beneficial. And if it's quiet when you're up in the morning and no one else is up, that also helps, because otherwise it's distractions.
Yeah, I think, again, for me, it's become a really magical time in the morning because I'm choosing to do it by getting up at 5:30. The house is quiet. Nobody else needs me at that time. This is all about me. I get to be super selfish and really just work on myself.
Okay. All right. Well, we have one more letter then, don't we?
Yep. The last letter is also an S, and this stands for scribe or journal. So when we can externalize our thoughts or just capture some ideas, it helps us process. It helps us remember things later. You can do this in any variety of ways. So you can have just a blank journal where you're just kind of free flowing thoughts. There's a practice of just kind of free associated writing where you don't have any structure to it. For some people, that's hard to do, and so they might like a little structure. I'm that way. So I use what's called the 5-minute journal, which has you fill out a couple of answers to questions, and it includes things like, what are 3 things that I'm grateful for? And they can be small. Some mornings I'll put, I'm grateful for dark roast coffee, right? And it's big. I'm grateful for getting to spend some time with my daughter the day before. I'm grateful for family, or I'm grateful for the comfortable home we live in. So small or large, just what are 3 things you're grateful for? What are 3 things that would make that day great? And they need to be things that you're in control of. So it can't be, what would make today great is if it were sunny all day. I have no control over that, right? So what are 3 things that you have control of that would make today great? And then you write an affirmation, you write an I am statement. And so that's just a short way to journal in a really structured way. This 5-minute journal also has you come back at the end of the day and write 3 amazing things that happened that day and 1 thing that you could have done to make the day better. I don't like to write. I prefer not to write in the evening. So I actually start when I bring out the journal with completing those things for the day that passed before.
Awesome.
So that's how I do it.
That's great too. And writing has, again, it's another commitment level from you psychologically that I think, helps you achieve things.
Yeah.
Well, this is incredible, Debbie. We'll put the link to the book in the show notes as well. But
Sure.
Before we go, tell people what you're up to these days, how they get a hold of you, and how they can work with you. And maybe the program you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, the It's About Time program.
Yeah.
So we run a virtual productivity program. It's called It's About Time. That's kind of a double entendre because for most of our members, they're joining because they're wanting more time for what matters most to them. So it's about having more time. But also for many of them, they're thinking in their mind, okay, it's about time I did something about getting organized and being more productive. So we touch on a different topic related to organization and productivity throughout the year. We focus for a month on one particular topic. And as I mentioned, last month it was on this idea of energy management for more productivity. And so we do a webinar on it. We do a couple weeks later an Ask the Organizer live. We have a Facebook community where we're sharing ideas and I'm able to help hold people accountable. And they're working on an implementation challenge each month. So that's a great virtual program. More information can be found on our website about that or our live in-person services. We do both residential organizing, helping people get and stay organized at home. And then in our commercial division, we do physical organization, but also group productivity training and implementation sessions or individual consulting for employees of companies. So that's all available at itssimplyplace.com. More information on all those things.
Yeah, and of course you could do all that because you have the morning routine that gives you all the energy so you can be productive to do all those things, right?
That and a team of great employees. I certainly couldn't do it alone, but yes, I get lots of joy out of the work that we get to do with our clients, and then that helps me have the energy as well. And the morning routine certainly has made a difference in my life.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, Debbie. We'll again have you back, I'm sure, soon. And hopefully, folks, you are able to establish this morning routine. Maybe it won't look exactly like that, but take something, make it happen, and we'll see you next time on Keeping You Organized.